You guys ready?
Yep. What's up, guys? What's up?
All right, boys and girls, welcome once again to Surviving Hollywood. Today we got a special guest with us today, Rick Silver. What's up, dude?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good to see you, man.
Doing great. Hey, you were saying that you've watched a couple of these.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
What was your favorite episode, man?
The one where when they're not surviving Hollywood.
I love that one. I do love that one.
Nice, man.
And they're
Nice.
forced to go back home to Kentucky or whatever.
Some people don't make it.
Hey, that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, dude. Thank you for joining us, man. So obviously, we actually know the famous Rick Silver through acting class back in the day, Act Club, as we all met.
Act
But
Club,
that's
yeah.
right, dude. But tell us, Rick, for the audience that doesn't know, tell us about yourself. What do you do? What's your thing?
My thing, well, I consider myself a little bit of a businessman. I do the hustle, you know. I gotta survive in Hollywood, no pun intended. Like, do a little bit of rental business, and my passion is film, and I love it. And that's how I met you guys, because I want to direct, and I love acting, and some people think I'm funny. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bring in those people.
And the folks at home might know you from maybe driving behind your car, because all your car's license plates say Rick Silver.
All of them. My motorcycle, my cars, everything. I'm a big fan of
The brand.
branding. Branding is very important, especially if you guys want to be actors in Los Angeles or anywhere in the world. Like, branding is very important to who you are, you know?
Totally agree.
We're talking to the expert.
Before we jump too far ahead, we actually want to just kind of get into your story.
Yeah.
So I know where you're from, but why don't you just tell the audience that doesn't know how you got here, like why you decided to come here, where you're from, and that kind of whole thing.
Oh my God, it's a long story. I was in retail in Texas, straight out of high school. Like, I started my own little store right outside of the University of Texas of El Paso.
Cool.
And it went very well. I ended up having like 5 stores at one point, like in the major malls, and it was like a skate shop. It's kind of like Sumi's, Tilly's kind of thing, like a lot of streetwear and for the kids and stuff like that.
Miller's Outpost.
What's that?
I don't know.
Silver's out.
Strike that from the record, man. Anyway, so sorry, continue.
So yeah, and then we had like the economy crash.
So you
and-
made the clothes, or what'd you do?
No. I actually would come to LA a lot. I would come like once a year and come to the fashion market and all that stuff and buy like products, and also
Wow.
downtown buy like around the alleys and all that stuff. I would buy like. Texas doesn't have all the stuff that we have here in California, so everything I would take, it was like really new, and then wholesale here is like so cheap. Like, for example, a necklace I would buy like $10 a dozen. I would sell that necklace for $12.99 each. So it was making a killing, and it was comparable to like the chains, you know, like the chain stores. And so yeah, it was a good learning experience. But then I decided to start a family, and I almost got married to her. We lived together 7 years, and I have 2 beautiful children. They're still in Texas, and
Kids are killing it right now, right?
yeah, the kids are killing it. They're
Famous.
beautiful, and they're funny. They're talented.
We reached out for them to come to the podcast. They
Yeah.
said no.
Couldn't book them.
Yeah, now
maybe
you gotta
season 2.
talk to the momager. Yeah, you can follow Mishka at Mishka Silva, and Kayed is just 11, and you can follow him at It's Kyle Silva. So
I like the plug.
yeah,
Tell them to follow me, please.
shameless plug, you know, gotta do it for the kids. But
So you had the kids, obviously started the family.
yeah, and then I started having financial trouble and stuff like that, and that
was
put
during
a
the
dent-
recession.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually was a homeowner. I lost my house, and I started having problems with the relationship, and my ex not working, and me trying to support kids, and so it ended up not working, and she left to Phoenix to move with her mother.
Arizona.
Arizona. And then I always wanted to come to LA, so I said I grabbed all my stuff, and I drove to the end of I-10, ended up in Santa Monica, not knowing anybody here. Like, I didn't tell anybody who was coming in. Like, just a U-Haul full of stuff. I even bought brought my washer and dryer. I don't know why. Yeah, I brought like
paid for
everything. Yeah, I had it. I thought I was gonna need it because in Texas, like the places don't come with the refrigerator and stuff. And you move here, most of the places already have it. So I ended up selling it and stuff. But yeah, I ended up bumping into a friend that he had like a loft for rent in his 2-bedroom. He had a roommate, and then I moved in with him, and then I met another actress from the same hometown, and I moved in with her, and it just like snowballed from there. Like she told me like you need to go into LA casting, you need to get your headshots done. She introduced me to some photographers.
So did initially the reason that you moved here was more just to get away, or was it like I actually like, you know what, I really want to do acting, I got to do it? Yeah, what was it? Or was it,
so there's this big part. So when I was still in Texas, when the stores were doing bad, I also had I started a little TV show. It was kind of like, it was in the times where what was that show called with Johnny Knoxville? Jackass and all that stuff was really popular.
Yeah.
So we kind of mimicked the pranks over there, and I was shooting on a Canon XL1S, which is like mini DV tapes and all that stuff. It was like really old school, really expensive. So, and then we bought the airtime on Telemundo.
Wow.
And,
So you were hurting yourself and doing like wacky stunts, like pranks?
I was actually making my friends do it. I was more of the host.
Smart,
That's how you do it.
Yeah, so I was making them do stuff, and I did like it's funny because I had a person over there that he worked for the TV station, and he was the editor. He has all these tapes that someday are gonna be gold, because I don't have any proof of any of that, but he has all these mini DVs, and he told me when they like you can come and look in the warehouse. It's about 20,000 mini DVs in here, and nothing's labeled. So like,
wow.
So it's in there somewhere.
Back when you were putting this on Telemundo, did you get any notoriety or any feedback of like?
Yeah. So we even had like back then we had MySpace. Remember MySpace?
Yeah.
So we used
Still
MySpace
use it.
a lot. We used MySpace for our also marketing, and I was kind of like doing like a cross promotion with my retail stores, where if the kids would send us like if like feedback, like if they want us to prank their friend, or like if they know an event or something, we send like a free T-shirt or stuff like that, and it did get a little bit of feedback on MySpace, and it was cool because like we got to go to events like in Vegas and car shows and stuff like that, and prank people there and interview people, and just random like in Texas we do ATV and motocross a lot. We go chase people, like go in the desert. It's kind of like a blog more, but with pranks, and we would throw in a music video just to kill time. And
Nice.
Like, what's the craziest prank you did personally?
Me personally, like setting one of my friend's car on fire.
With your friend inside?
No. But like, I mean, it wasn't supposed to like catch on fire, but it did.
With kerosene? Like, what do you do?
Yeah, kind of like gasoline.
I
Fireworks.
didn't know gas
and
was
stuff
flammable, dude. I had no idea.
Yeah. Back then there was velour seats and cars and shit, so it's very flammable.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's what got me into TV and stuff, and I always wanted. I still do want to like one day direct like a movie, and that's still like a lifelong goal of mine. And acting has helped me like learn a lot from this side of the camera, and I still have a lot to learn. I'm not ready to direct, but I have an idea of what I want.
Like what movie? Like I wish I could direct something like this. What movie would you?
There's two of them. One is actually like a series of kind of, it sounds cliche, but it's kind of like Breaking Bad, but it'll be like living in the border of El Paso, Texas and Juarez, because I grew up and I left that town when the violence was crazy. Like, I was not directly involved with any of that, but it was around me. Like,
I'm not familiar. There was
a lot. So the cartel
and
and the mafia over there were like, if you go to Juarez, like
the Mexican cartel.
Mexican cartel, it was very dangerous. Like I honestly lost my business partner. He got shot in the head. Like his dad's business got burnt down. Another one of my friends got chopped and found in the trunk. Like it's crazy stuff that a normal person did not experience. And also that's one of the reasons I left. I was scared. You know, like I even pulled my parents like, you need to like leave that town because even if you're not involved, like if you have a nice car or something, like they would just like hijack your car. That's what happened to my business partner. He had a nice truck and he refused to give it up and they just shot him in the head.
Are your parents still there or did they leave?
They're back there, but not in the same area. So like in a safe.
Good.
Yeah, and it's not as dangerous as before.
Right.
But it was very bad. So where I'm going with this is I want to do like a kind of like a Breaking Bad where a guy is kind of forced to push drugs and be unfaithful to his wife and all kinds of stuff, and it just evolves from there.
He's forced to be unfaithful.
Well,
he's like, I don't want to do it.
Do it.
Nice.
But
the ultimate fantasy.
Yeah, and then there's another one, and the other one's kind of like not a rom-com, but it's kind of like a movie, kind of like The Breakup.
So a real kind of.
Is that the Vince Vaughn movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vince Vaughn movie where I like festivals, so it's about two strangers. They go into per se like a Burning Man type of festival from two different cities. How they prepare
Fire festival.
Fire festival.
Were you there, dude?
No.
Were you interested in Fire Festival?
I am still interested.
Anyway, go on.
So it's kind of like a festival like that where they prepare and all the things they do. It's kind of you can see the scenes where like what they do to travel to get tickets to get to the camp. They meet there, and also the experiences that they go through at the festival. They get lost. They lose their friends. They do drugs. And what they experience, what they see, the people they meet, and like the confusion, and then they have this one day where like everything's perfect and like, you know, it's like kind of like a love story.
It's like Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, but since there's no phones and all that, so they don't get their information. And then the next day, since it's so big, they can't find each other, and it's the last day. And well, the ending is kind of like the breakup, like they just fade away, and then like
Just never meet up again.
no, they actually in the ending it's like a clip where like the guy walks in with his wife and kids into a restaurant and it's just like waiting tables.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And
So
they
the
just
guy
smile
made
at it, but it's a happy
curveball.
story because
Because she got a big
in the
tip.
ending, no, like in the ending, it's gonna say, I'm not sad that it ended. I'm happy that it happened.
Girls will go crazy.
Yeah,
Has that happened to you?
it's kind of a little bit personal, but it's not. But with exaggerations, obviously, because
Yeah.
you have to make it.
Well, we'll see what the studio says about that. We'll see
Yeah.
what cuts we have to make, but
So that actually, now you're talking about that, obviously, so you moved to LA, you've been doing the acting thing, but you also got into a lot of the nightlife here,
Yeah.
which I think also kind of tailors into the film festival, or not the film festival, but the music festival stuff you were talking
Yeah.
about. So, okay, you're huge in town for like going out, nightlife, that kind of thing. How did that evolve? How did you get into
Actually,
that?
I'm not a big fan of clubs, to be honest with you. I am a big fan of music and like especially EDM right now. Like I'm a big fan of, because I have a lot of friends who are DJs and back in the day I was more into rock, you know, and then like a little bit of hip hop. But now that I see how they create music with all these noises and all this stuff, like to you it's probably just techno, but like to a lot of people.
it's life.
You know, it's life. Sleep, rave, repeat.
I'm sure you have that shirt somewhere.
Yeah.
So how did you fall into that world? Because I know you.
You know what? Since also, it's funny because you're from Arizona,
Yeah.
and my friend they got me into this. His name is Raul Revilla, and he works with Live Nation now. But he used to have BSP, which back in the day did like events, kind of like Insomniac events back home. And like since I had the shops, he came up to me. We were friends. He's like, "Hey, you should come and sell some of your products at the events." And I started selling shirts and stuff, and then I started selling like the glow sticks and whatever was the Jenko pants, all that stuff back in the day. So I had that market. Not only that, I was an official ticket seller for the whole city. Like every time there was an event, they would have to come in my shop. So like I would sell tickets for free, but when they're inside, they already buy a shirt, sticker, whatever. Sometimes, you know, so I was most all events. So I started seeing, and like obviously you start seeing like you start making friends.
You
at
start
those
seeing
events,
the same people too at the same
people,
events
and you
stuff
start
like that,
liking
yeah.
like a certain girl or whatever.
Right.
So you start getting into it, or like even some good moments, some good music you saw like you hear on the radio or on your iPod back in the day or whatever. It was like, oh, it gives me chills, you know, like it was amazing. So that's how I got into that, and I still love it. And
It's like an exclusive club, right? Like,
what is?
like the party scene in Hollywood?
No, not at all. Everyone's welcome.
Yeah, but you
How
know,
come
If you
on-
wait in the line.
How come I'm never invited?
No, it's one of those things where I mean, you do have to pay cover. Obviously, if you have friends, you got guest lists and stuff like that. But it's not like most of the clubs here in Hollywood that you have to know somebody or you have to come with a promoter. Because I did do that side for a couple of years where like we would go, if we were going out, we had to be with a promoter or show up with 10 girls,
Right.
or buy a bottle or something to be in that club with the popular people, whatever you want to call it. And at these other parties, you pay cover, have a good time. Everybody's in there. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. There's also the option of buying tables and all that stuff.
Right.
But it's more of a like a welcoming per se atmosphere. You know, like people like hey, hugs. You know, like nice to meet you. Aside from going to a club here and like everybody's like trying to show off their jewelry or popping bottles or something like that.
Right.
right. So if you're a guy trying to get into just
I'm a guy.
Yeah. Okay. So you're following me on a
hold
Friday
on a
night, but you're not Rick Silver, and it's a Friday night.
You're Aaron Arnold.
Yeah. You see this huge line. And you're like, I don't have a girl. I mean, I'm dressed pretty well, but not that great. What is the next step to trying to get in this club to change your life? Is it just passing $20 or $50 to the?
Yeah, sometimes it is, and hopefully if you're going to a place like that, like it's with the hopes that you know somebody in there that you're trying to meet or something. And sometimes they have somebody that can kind of like tell their friend or the promoter or the bouncer, hey, can you let my friend in or whatever. Sometimes they'll be like, yeah, $50 or whatever, or sometimes like, yeah, come on in. It just depends on how popular or who's playing or what's going on that day. You know, like every club is different.
So right now, what's the best nightclub in town?
No, it all depends.
Or if somebody's moving to LA and they're looking to socialize or whatever, what some places you recommend right now?
To
EPL.
socialize, honestly, you should go like to the speakeasies, the bars and stuff like that. It's like
I prefer those.
yeah, so it's easier to talk to a person, you know, because the quote unquote best clubs are pretty exclusive and sometimes they're celebrities and the tables are you can't go to that area. Or if you're in that area, you can't even bring your friends up, or like it just depends. It's kind of like politics, but honestly, if you're coming here to like socialize and start, like I would do like bars and speakeasies and like special events, like there's places, huge warehouses like Academy where you just pay the cover and there's 2,000 people in there, you know.
Wow.
So I'm coming for the weekend. Never been to LA. I'm like, man, I want to see some celebrities. I want to go to the hottest club in town. Where am I going?
Good question.
There's like I know that a lot of celebrities go to Avenue, One Oak, Poppy, Nightingale. I'm not a fan of Nightingale, but
Why not?
it's just the layout. But a lot of people love it. It's just me personally.
And the next question is Rick Silver getting me in
Getting you in where?
to one of the hottest clubs in town, dude?
Yeah, you're all welcome. Like, but honestly, I don't go to those. I go more like to the festivals, I do go in if it's somebody's birthday or
I understand.
something.
I understand. I actually did have a real follow-up question.
Wow.
So we talked about, the fact that in your history here in Los Angeles, besides like the nightclubs and the taverns and the EDM, I want to hear about the seedy, the parties in Hollywood.
Here we go.
What do you mean?
Like, like Hollywood has this reputation of, some of these parties are filled with like, just like seedy, like people. How would you
Like
describe it?
they say don't go on Hollywood Boulevard after 11 p.m. because that's when
Like the weird Hollywood Hills parties, like the Eyes Wide Shut kind of stuff.
Crazy story. Do I hear a crazy story?
Let's hear it.
Am I allowed?
We'll allow it. We'll allow it.
Maybe. I mean,
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Yo, when I barely moved here, like when I still didn't know anybody, like I went out with a friend that was from my hometown as well. It's kind of like has mannerisms and he looks kind of, on the feminine side, but he's not. And
Okay.
but we went to this club. I think it was called My House, and it was on Hollywood Boulevard. We went in there. For some reason, we did not have a problem getting in there. Like the promoter was like, "Oh yeah," like I don't know. He thought maybe it was somebody else or something. I don't know, but we didn't have a problem. So we're at the park, and then I see we're walking around, but we don't really know anybody. So we're just like standing by, and then this really beautiful girl just comes up and she goes, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, is she talking to me? Like, yeah, I was surprised, 'cause I still didn't know anybody. I was like, I was living in Studio City, and the Studio City is pretty chill, so I didn't meet a lot of people when I was there. And I was like, is she talking to me? And then she's like, yeah, like I saw you the other day at like a farmer's market or something. I was like, wow, like she remember me? It's like, yeah. And she's like, I'm at this table, but they don't allow guys to come to the table, but if you want to get your drink, it's like, sure, what else? So she brings me a drink. It's like, yeah, can I get your number? It's like, I gave her, yeah, and she's like, so I gave her my number, and she's like, yeah, I'll call you or whatever. I said, yeah, whatever. She's not gonna call. She calls me the next day. It's like, hey, what are you doing? That was like on a Tuesday. So she calls me and she says, what are you doing this weekend? And I said, well, actually, there's a friend of mine that is actually playing at this club. I forget the name of the club. It's like a little club in LA, in Hollywood. And he goes, his name, DJ name was Dean Mason. He still plays. I'm still friends with him. And he invited me, and they have a table or whatnot. And I said, you can come. And she was like, cool, can I bring a friend? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I didn't think she was to show up. So she shows up, and we go, like we're dancing and thing, like, I started getting close with her and stuff like that. She's like, whoa, I thought you were gay. Whoa. And I was like, why would you think that? She was like, because you're always that guy over there. I was like, I go, no, I don't think he's gay either. Like, and she's like, and I was like, whatever. And she's like, oh, great, whatever. And then obviously she liked me. And then.
She liked you?
Yeah, like she was interested in me, but at first she think she felt safe. Those gay guys. Oh, I have a new best friend, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
That's the point.
Yeah, right.
Very confusing.
Yeah. Anyway, so we ended up like starting to talk, and then like she goes one day, she's like, "Hey, you want to go to a party?" And I was like, "Sure." And then she was like, "It's a lifestyle party." And in my head, I was like, lifestyle party? What the hell is a lifestyle party? I'm thinking like the brand of condoms, like a sponsor or something like that.
Awesome. Good party.
So I'm like, what the hell? And it was around Christmas. She's like, yeah, it's a white party. I was like, shit, I gotta go find I didn't have white clothes. So I'm like going to Nordstrom Rack and shit, like everywhere, like trying to, where do you find white pants and all that stuff? So I did. And then once I got all the clothes, she texted me and she goes, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know if I can get you in. I'm like, why? She goes, it's $1,000 to get in. I'm like, $1,000?
Yikes.
I don't have that kind of money to go to a party, especially I don't know, like, I don't even, I just met this girl, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just pass, whatever. So, okay, well, let me see what I can do. Like 2 hours pass. She goes, great news. I got you in. I'm like, but you have to buy a bottle.
For $1,000.
No. You have to bring a bottle with you.
Oh, that's
easy.
Yeah. So you have to bring a bottle, and I have to bring a bottle as well, whatever. And I was like, okay, we'll see you Friday or whatever the day it was. And so I meet her at like a parking lot, and then we go to a house like in the hills that had we actually didn't Uber because it wasn't Uber, but it was a taxi cab. We went there, and then there was like a Suburban, right? Like a black car.
Wait in front or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't look like there was a party there, but there was people like outside waiting, and they were just getting into like shuttles or Suburbans. So, and we bring our bottle, and everybody's like super sexy that was getting into the shuttles. So we go to this. So she's like, what's the password? And she knew the password. I didn't have no idea what it was. And then like I'm just sitting there like, what is this? You know, like, and we go to another huge mansion, like a huge mansion that had like Ferraris and everything. Excuse me, everything that was, you know, it was like, wow, like I made it. Just I made it out.
That's it.
What is
I'm
it?
done.
And there was like all these nice cars outside, and like we go in through the garage, not the front door.
Classy.
No, and they had like a check-in table. Was like, they gave us what's the password, who invited you, blah blah blah, or like your ticket or whatever. And then where's your bottle? So you give me your bottle. I never seen this again, like ever. And I think it's a great idea for like private parties. But like you give them your bottle, and they give you a bracelet. They put a number on the bottle, and matches your bracelet. So she gives a bottle, I give a bottle.
So you only drink off your bottle?
You only drink off your bottle, but you don't have to bring mixers. There's bartenders, everything. So,
okay, cool.
So everything's in there, like provided for
nice.
you.
Nice.
What was your liquor of choice?
I took a Grey Goose bottle.
Nice.
So what this helps is like, say you drink vodka, you drink your own vodka. But if somebody else has tequila or whatever, that's when you start like talking to people, because they can give you from their bottle, you can give them from there. It's kind of like a cool concept.
Cool.
You know, like, and you're not there like freeloading or whatever.
Right.
I don't know if the people that paid a lot of money have like more or whatever, but that's what I had. So once I go into the party, I see like, am I allowed to say midgets?
Dude, it's 2019.
Little people, man.
Dude, it's one of those Freddie Mercury-esque parties.
Yeah. So I see little people in there, but they're
I don't think anybody likes to be referred to as little.
Okay.
I think
Is that
midget.
the reference now?
I think midget is better.
Small person,
They're big, dude. I mean, it's not.
big-hearted people.
But they were
Okay.
dressed as dwarfs.
There we
Like,
go.
because it
That's
was
good.
holidays, so they weren't like tidy whities only, like with like Christmas hats and stuff.
I wonder how you get that gig, huh?
It's a good gig.
Yeah, and there's a few of them, and then they're like running around with the little big butts and everything. You know? And then like I'm like, and I just sound like the sexiest women I ever
The
seen.
sexiest midget you've ever seen.
in my life. Like sexiest women, like they're all wearing white, barely any clothes on.
Yeah.
You know, like stuff you always see in magazines, or like, you know what I mean.
I got you.
The brassiere section of Sears and Roebuck's. you know?
Nice.
There
The
it
home and
is.
garden section, or just kidding?
Just yeah. There's a lot of hoes in the.
Very accurate.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
So anyway, you're making your way through this party. A lot of hot girls.
This was like whose party was this? You see a famous person?
no, it's like a group, like a secret, because you were mentioned like.
So tell us about what's the lifestyle party.
So lifestyle means you're a swinger. So it's a swingers party.
Wow.
So
You didn't get to sleep with that girl. You had to have your friend sleep with that girl. And you had to
I
sleep
plead the
with your friend.
fifth right now. But there was a lot of stuff going on in that party. Like, I went down and they had like a theater, and there's like porn showing there, and people are doing stuff down there.
Like what, having sex or doing drugs?
All of the above.
a mixture of
Mixed.
everything.
As if they're not.
You didn't even name the word.
Mixed. It was like
That was just the
this
cover.
is like my second month in LA. Like, I was like, is this what LA is like?
Fresh off the bus.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, so I'm walking, and upstairs they had EDM music and hip hop, and like, it was popping. It was like people dancing, everybody was happy, no drama anywhere. There's people skinny dipping in the pool and stuff like that. I was like, what the fuck? And me and this girl, we didn't take our clothes off. Like, we're not swingers. Like, we got invited by the DJ.
But she knew what kind of party it was going in, though.
She was kind of like
Like
maybe,
little-
yeah, I don't know.
She was just as naive as Rick.
I think in the beginning, yeah, but all her friends were kind of wild too. So, and it's really funny because I went to get in line to use the restroom, and I'm waiting in line while she's like talking over the two people and stuff like that. And then like there's hot girls in front of me, hot girls behind, and then it's like, hey, because everybody's like super like extremely friendly, especially if you're a swinger, because they want to like swing, you know. and I'm like a new fresh meat, like new face,
Yeah.
and they're like,
I haven't seen you before.
Yeah.
yeah, they're all like, what's your name? And no, what's your username? And I said, on what? Like Facebook? And they
MySpace?
started laughing. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, wait, how'd you get in here? I was like, oh, I got invited by the DJ. It's like, oh, that makes sense. And then I was like, and then when I was like with her husband, it's like, oh, like, do you like this stuff? It's like, yeah, whatever, like, yeah, play it safe. And she was like, I can certify you. I was like, and then she turns to her husband. It's like, what do you think about this one? It's like, and then it's like, yeah, I like him.
It was sounding good up until that point.
I was like, I can certify you. I was like, oh, okay, let me get your info or whatever. Like, it's like right there and then you're like, you just go with it.
Just go with it, yeah.
You can't be like, nah.
What is certifying?
So you want to sleep with a wife.
I thought it was when you got like the blue check mark on Twitter.
That's what
pretty
I was about
much
to say too, yeah.
Pretty much.
Verified.
In their lifestyle society.
And just for the folks at home, now that you're established in LA, what is your username?
How do we find you?
At these parties, the username is
Rick
Silverboy. Just kidding. No, and then something really crazy happened. Like a minute later, like the girl in front of me, like super hot blonde, like she's like perfect body, everything. And she goes, "Hey, you want to see something really cool?" I was like, "Yeah, show me." And she bends over. She has a fucking. Can I say fucking?
Yeah.
Okay.
You already did.
We don't have any sponsors.
There's a fucking diamond butt plug. She just bends over and shows it. It's like, bling, 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 bling.
Wow.
And I was like, can I take a picture? She's like, yeah. She took a picture.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Welcome to LA, man. That's not what I expected either.
So yeah, and stuff like that. And obviously it didn't work out with that girl, but
Oh, man.
yeah. Well, I don't.
It wouldn't have worked out if she was in line for the bathroom and had a big diamond butt.
No, that wasn't it. That was a.
He was talking about the other girl, right?
Another
The one that
stranger.
invited you.
Just, yeah. It was actually the girl that asked me what my username was. Like,
So after that party, since it was like the craziest one you'd been to since you moved to LA, was like everything else after that like a letdown?
no. Because
you were like, it's never gonna
not
get as good as this,
It's just different. It's like comparing running shoes and walking shoes. They're both shoes, but like one thing's for another.
But that was a good question. And just to, when you got to LA, since this is like an acting type podcast, did any of those parties transition into like, oh, I'm meeting some people in the industry that'd be a good.
They do have film industry, but it's not the one we want.
Oh.
Well, it's not the one I want.
Vivid Entertainment.
Heard of them. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So did you ever get approached to do other types of films, sort of? At these
not
parties?
by them. No, I didn't go to any more of their parties.
Oh, okay.
You have to be a member and stuff like that, and get certified.
Have you booked most of your work in your years here through like the traditional way, either submitting yourself or an agent submitting you, or is it differently in that maybe you met somebody at one of these mixers and you worked with them?
I mean, in all the years that I've been to, it's a mixture of everything. Obviously, I started just like everyone with your basic, your headshots, casting.
But you got to differentiate yourself somehow, right?
Yeah, I mean, you get your agent, and then also I did a lot of background work with. I actually became SAG doing background on a film.
With Central?
No.
Casting?
No. Central never got me anything. Nothing. That was just a number to them. It was Hollywood OS. Hollywood OS helped me a lot.
Not familiar with them, but
yeah, they do a Modern Family. They do a lot. They do a lot of movies. I did Star Trek with them. I did.
Oh, nice.
I did big movies like that. The one that got me SAG was called In Time with Justin Timberlake.
Oh yeah,
I saw that
at the time.
It's a good movie.
I actually like that movie. I know it didn't do
I was
well,
one
but
of
it was
the
cool.
bodyguards just walking in black behind. So I worked like 17 days on that film.
Oh,
Whoa!
nice.
So-
Can we see your face? Like,
it's a little bit.
You look like one of those guys who'd be at that
Yeah,
party.
we're all wearing glasses. We're like kind of like monotone,
Yeah.
like we're walking right behind them, like on the stairs and all that stuff. So since I worked so many days, they made me SAG, and I was so happy. And
dope.
yeah, but yeah, Hollywood has helped me a lot. I suggest them because they're not as big as LA Casting. LA Casting does a lot of TV shows and stuff like that, but they run through people like that, and Hollywood OS is a little more of a personal approach. I think it's Carla, the one that works there, and they use you a lot. Did a lot of featured stuff with them.
And then when you kept moving on in the career, what was the show you were on? General Hospital? You played the dad or whatever?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy?
That's right.
Nice. How did you transition from the extra work to, getting that Amsterdam commercial, the New Amsterdam one?
You know what?
Or the other
you know what? The New Amsterdam commercial.
Which is vodka.
as vodka. It's not a good story. It's a good ad, but it's not a good story. I got hired to be background in an actual TV commercial. TV commercial never made it. And from there, I wasn't even like, the main guys was the band. Somebody like the Strokes or somebody like that. They were the main, the main talent, right?
Yeah.
None of that's in their ads. And I was dancing with two girls, you know, like for the commercial, and they use that shot.
You're right in the center.
Yeah, I'm the main guy for this ad.
Was that a union spot? Like print ad or?
No, it was non-union.
Oh, so you couldn't really fight anything, right?
I tried. I got a lawyer and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what ended up happening?
But it ended up like in the fine print somewhere, it said we can use your likeness. So be careful, guys, because be careful what you sign, because it said you can use your likeness, voice, whatever for whatever. But I went they never told me it was a print job, you know, and
More like a hatchet job.
yeah, well, because the way I found out is a friend of mine in New York was like, "Oh my God, I just saw your billboard in New York." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like somebody looks at me, oh haha, and he sends me a picture. It's me. And then like I start seeing like on delivery trucks. I saw it on Sunset Boulevard.
I've seen
I
it
saw it at the
multiple
grocery
times.
store. It's still on to this day. That was 4 or 5 years ago. It's still on. I got paid $500.
Wow. But let me ask you this. Would you, because knowing that you wouldn't, even if you tried to get the lawyer, there was fine print, you couldn't do anything about it, would you not have done that ad? Knowing that, they'll just get somebody else, that somebody else will get the billboard. Would you have like not done it, knowing what they would have done with it?
No, I would love to do it. Like, why not? Like, that's,
Cool, I agree.
It's good for your career.
No
you know?
regrets.
No regrets.
What I like also, you go to Rick Silver's apartment, you got a refrigerator full of New Amsterdam vodka.
They should have given me like at least, you know, a case. You know?
I wish they.
You know, but I'm hoping that if you're out there, you know, absolute, you know, you could put me in your ad and say like, look at the guy from New Amsterdam. He switched to,
Like
you know,
Paul,
kind of like the guy from Verizon.
Exactly.
His name is Paul.
Paul?
He's our buddy.
You guys work with him actually, right?
That's
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
When is that commercial coming out?
They shelved it because the new iPhone came out.
Come on, man.
That's how it goes.
Come on, man.
Yeah. So
So to kind of quickly transition, obviously you've been doing acting out here. You're basically like an entrepreneur out here. You've been doing businesses, all different kinds of things. But I want to talk real quick about your survival jobs out here, or maybe basically your thriving jobs out here. So what is it that you do, your business or whatever that is, that's kind of getting you through everything now?
to be honest, like everything out here is a hustle. Like some of my friends that are also actors, they, you know, they do catering jobs, stuff like that let you audition, you know, like, because that's where you get to be in front of the director or like the client or whatever. And that's very important, because if you get like a retail job or something like that, then you get the audition, they're not going to let you like leave or whatever. It's really hard. And it sucks because nowadays, like even being SAG, like the pay has gone down for actors a lot. So you're kind of forced to like do other stuff, you know, like a lot of things are venturing to YouTube and stuff like that. Like for example, our old friend Luis Mercado, remember?
Yeah.
He's doing
Doing that show. Is he still doing that?
Yeah,
The
he's
cheater
still
one?
doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
To catch a cheater or something.
Has he caught the cheater yet?
No, I think he's the cheater.
The thing is, and I don't know Luis because I just knew of him like after I got to class where you guys met him. Those shows on YouTube though,
They're all staged.
they're clearly fake, but they have so
They're
many
fake.
views. But they have so many
Yeah.
views.
So it's totally staged.
Everything you see on YouTube is mostly staged. So
Right.
Right.
Every prank, all that stuff is. you
Yeah.
know, I live where most of it, like right on Hollywood Vine, like there's a lot of YouTubers and stuff. They're always shooting stuff, and it's all staged and stuff.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, obviously, most of it's staged, but I'm just saying that's like you're clearly watching a little skit here, but it's like people love it. It's just
People
surprising.
love it, and not only that, but like in Middle America, some people believe. Like when I did that show, Operation Repo.
Yeah.
So
I know that
I
one of
was
the guys that
in a
produces
farm and I had a Miata getting repo from me, you know, and like and
You were like, thank you.
Didn't you do Matchmaker Millionaire or whatever?
yeah, I did. I've done all that stuff. Yeah.
I did mystery diners one time, and I played a bartender, and I had a name and everything. Like, oh, he works. He's been here for 6 months, and I'm like, it's first day here. I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
Yeah, but so I did that Operation Repo, and like a lot of people from Texas call me, oh my god, I didn't know they repoed your car. And so like, no, it's fake. It's like, you're kidding me. Also did a couple of court shows that they were like supposed to be real,
Right.
And obviously it's like pre-scripted,
Right.
But I mean, it's entertainment, you know. Like
Yeah.
people like watching dramas, and I think that's why like court shows and like catching a predator and all that stuff.
Weren't you on that show, To Catch a Predator?
Yeah, but I was the
You were?
child.
You were the predator. No, don't touch me. Hey,
I'm just doing laundry. I'll be right back.
Mom, the meatloaf.
Nice.
so those are obviously some things that are happening now. But what are you doing basically to get by now?
So I'm in the rental business right now. Like I actually just purchased some vehicles that I rent on tour because LA, there's so many people visiting, so many people, and also like Airbnbs. I did that. Like,
Are you still doing that or Airbnb stuff?
Maybe.
Okay.
We know the IRS listens
Can't
to this show.
disclose for tax reasons.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of tourists here, and there's not enough anything, and it's like
More entertainment. They need more.
yeah, they need a place to stay. They need a car. They're always sold out of like the rental, and like it's competitive, and it's like a great market because like you can rent your car and get it paid off, and like you know it takes a little bit of time while your car or your extra room is making money for you. You know,
Do you
to
do it
be
during-
able to survive Hollywood?
Hey, can we get that as a soundbite?
Yeah. We're saving
Do you
that.
do it through an app or?
Yeah, there's apps. There's a bunch of apps. There's depends on what if you're trying to rent an extra room. There's Airbnb, VRBO,
Right.
HomeAway, bring your own bitch. You know.
Bingo.
And then there's and then for cars there's Turo. I think there's Drives. There's a
So
few.
now you're renting cars to just tourists or what? Like what?
Yeah, to anybody.
What kind of cars? Just normal cars?
Well,
or?
you got to research the market. I actually watched a lot of YouTube regarding this to learn a little bit what the most popular cars were and stuff like that. So the number one renting car in LA is a Mustang convertible, and that's I have some of those.
People want to fly with the wind in their hair.
Yeah, they want to go to the PCH. It's a cheap car. It's, you know, not relatively cheap, but like you know, it's a good.
Now those are foreigners rent that from you, right? Or
No, everything. No, actually, more Americans like those. Like they like the Camaros, the Jeeps, and the Mustangs.
But like a guy from Wisconsin is going to come here and just rent a convertible.
He's trying to live the dream.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? You want to go to Venice, Santa Monica, Malibu, just top down, you know, nice car.
Yeah.
So are you buying the car and then renting it, or how does that work exactly? Okay.
Yeah, you
I
can
didn't
lease
know.
it, buy it. It's just personal preference.
Got you.
Or credit or whatever,
Right.
depending on your situation. It could be your own car. It could be anything. It could be my friend rents his Prius all the time. You know.
But there's a lot of Priuses.
There's a lot of everything.
They're popular.
But there's a lot of market. There's a market for everything. There really is in LA. Like if you really want to go out there and make money, you can.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so if basically you have to like dip into a lot of things to be able to survive, especially if you want to keep acting because it's expensive. Like headshots, your reels, your classes, and stuff like that. It gets really expensive.
Right. Rent. Yeah.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
drugs,
Yeah.
Lifestyle parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
fire festival.
podcast equipment.
Yeah. You know.
So if you had any advice for someone that's like they're moving from Ohio, coming down here with a U-Haul, whatever it is, and they're just like, I don't know anybody, I don't know what to do, how am I going to make money? I want to do acting. What do you think is one of the best survival jobs or businesses? What do you think is the best thing for them to do?
I mean, it's just every situation is different. It depends if they're coming with money, if they have parents, or they're staying with a friend, if they have a place to live.
Let's say they don't
cost
have
of
that
living
much
is
money.
the cost of living here is insane. That's what kills most people. You're trying
Right.
to pay your rent. You're trying to
Right.
keep that roof. You have roommates. You know, you're hitting 40 with roommates and stuff. You know, because you want to keep your passion for acting. You don't want to do the office job. You know what I mean? So you do whatever it takes to have a roof on top of you, have food, whatever. By the way, if you're acting, like it's great food as well. You eat catering and stuff. So it's
Yeah,
like
that's the
amazing.
best.
Yeah, it's the best.
Especially extra work. You
Yeah.
get paid and you get fed as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
They feed you.
and if you're union, they pay your miles and blah blah blah.
But
That's true.
I'm sensing what worked for you coming out here, which is different from a lot of people, is you had like an entrepreneurial spirit.
Correct.
That
Yeah.
So you found the opportunity instead of the average retail.
Yeah, like the car thing, I just started in December, and it's
doing
going
well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah, and I think I want to grow in that business because it's your car, it's insured, and you don't have to ask anybody for permission to do it or like any special kind of permit. It's your car, you just rent it.
Just throw it up there and it pays itself.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, you know what? What I think is good for actors here that don't have that business mindset is Uber, Lyft.
Right.
That's huge. People
That's
need
huge, and
rides.
especially
in LA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, and if
especially
they get,
Rick at 2 a.m.
yeah, no, for real. I don't drink and drive or anything like that. So,
Good.
So yeah, and it's just you just gotta go for it, you know. Like,
There's never a perfect time, but you got to
kinda
just
like a Band-Aid.
Except now.
except right now. If you're,
time is now.
you're thinking about it, do it now.
Do we want to get to
Let's
Austin's
let's get to the
questions? 'Cause I had a
questions.
couple.
Well, yeah, Aaron, go first, and we'll end with mine.
Let's do it.
Okay. Well, because this it's not just a podcast among friends. I know we fooled you with the first 46 minutes. But it's also going to live, as a piece of history, I feel. So I just want to get, so these questions aren't necessarily have to do with acting. I just want to get, if you have like a hot take on any of these.
Yeah.
Just because we're living in weird times, you know?
We are. It's crazy.
So feel free to say as much or as little as you want about any of this stuff. Okay, so I'm just going to run through them. Build the wall. What do you think?
Waste of money.
Okay.
It's a waste of money. I'm totally against it. There's so many other problems we need to resolve in America, especially safety for our kids in schools and stuff.
Agreed.
Being a parent, and like there's a lot of issues in that. You know what? Me living on the border, there's always been a wall there. I don't know why that's not known. There's always been a wall there.
Taller one, I
it's
guess.
not-
They
I
don't-
know.
It's not across all of the southern border, is it?
It's all El Paso. It kind of is, and then it breaks off in the mountains. There's the border patrols. They have like a fence, but they're there, and they have like the heat.
Like sensor.
Yeah, so like that. You
heat
do get
that's
like those like in the movies, like they call coyotes. They bring people over and stuff, but those are not criminals. Those people are here like to like work and send their money to their families and stuff like. Most of the people that are in America that do stuff like that are people that overstay. You know, they did have a visa at some point. They overstay.
Right.
They fly in. There's a lot of ways to get in. The wall is a waste of money.
Okay. Next one. What do you think about Bitcoin?
Bitcoin, I actually went into it and I actually did not make any money on it. And I think
Did you buy when it was high?
I bought it when it was mid.
Okay.
It went high and then I held on to it and then it went lower
Yeah, you're
than
like,
what
I
paid.
should have sold it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then it's one of those things. I think it's like the laser disc of money.
Right. Like
Like it's popular, like everyone's, and then like, it's not gonna work because there's people are losing their passwords, so you lose your money,
Right.
Their wallets, or if you die, it's
Well, some people.
there's no security, like it's not, there's no assurance that they'll
Right.
be there.
It's about giving the power of banking back to the individual, so you're responsible if you lose anything, right?
That's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, but there's wallets that you have to build and like
Or you buy.
and it's a process that and you need to. It's kind of like stock markets. You need to know what you're doing
For sure.
and with cash, everybody knows how cash works.
cash still works.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of places that are going cashless.
They are actually. A lot of places. The stadium is going to be going cashless.
Tender greens and stuff like. But there's also I think there's a certain cities, not in California or states, they're gonna ban cashless because it's a federal note and and you're supposed to accept
have to take it
cash.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's part of the government. It's how the taxes stuff like.
I agree.
So
They should take it.
So like, they should.
Why take away the option, right? It doesn't hurt anybody.
Just stop taking pennies. But take
Yeah,
the
I mean, what
dollars.
if you send your 14-year-old kid to go buy something at Tender Greens for say, and he doesn't have a credit card?
Why are you sending your 14-year-old? Why don't you just go get it yourself?
Because he's hungry and hungover.
That's
That's
true.
All right. Jussie Smollett. Do you have an opinion?
What?
Jussie Smollett.
I don't know. What
All right. Next up. Did you watch the Oscars this year?
Yeah.
What did you think Black Panther deserved to have a Best Picture nomination?
Not really.
It's just a Marvel movie, right?
There's a
Yeah,
down.
no.
I mean, can Thor
really.
get one? Can Wonder Woman get one?
Yeah, it's a good movie, but there's better movies out there.
Yeah, it was a good movie, but
Yeah, I think it's more of a kind of more of an affirmative action kind of thing.
yeah.
Which Oscar thing did you like movie? Did you see any of them?
Did you stay awake
The
in Roma?
Bohemian Rhapsody, I think
That was cool.
Yeah.
Did you see Roma?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't.
Let me know if you can get through it.
Yeah.
And
Is it
Slow. It's
Slow.
good, great movie.
I liked it.
Just,
I liked it.
just
Yeah.
very
Just-
slow.
just no
Very good
story.
movie.
I
Just
liked
very
it.
slow.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
All right, I guess I'm just going to ask one more. And as far as Democratic candidates, do you know about any? You liking any at this point?
I think isn't Beto Democratic?
Beto O'Rourke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him.
All right, cool. He's from Texas, right?
Yeah, he's
All right, cool.
actually from my hometown.
Oh, so you
Nice.
probably know a little bit about him.
A little bit, not too much. I'm not big into politics, but I do have my 2 cents. Like for example, about the wall, it's a waste of money.
Okay, so we're going to see how your opinions hold up in a couple years on that.
Got a
Very
couple
cool.
of audience questions, right?
Exactly. We have 3 audience questions. We always try and bring in the audience at every episode. If you're out there and you have a question for this podcast, please submit it to Surviving Hollywood Podcast on all social media, Surviving Hollywood Podcast on Gmail. Hit us up.
Wow, he nailed it, dude.
And
Wow, finally.
Exactly.
Those acting classes pay off.
And where did I put those? Okay, cool. So just 3 questions. It has nothing to do with anything we talked about, even though the last one does. First question, and I paraphrased some of these. Okay, so this person's asking, and I got these off Reddit today. This person hears that girls are more attractive in LA, but they also hear that girls in LA have shitty personalities. Is this a true stereotype, and where do you meet the quality girls?
I partly agree. You know, I think of LA kind of like a filter where like every prom queen, every beautiful girl and popular girl from high school is like, I'm gonna go to Hollywood and make it. Or there's a lot of modeling opportunities here, a lot of modeling jobs, so they all come here. So they're all like, what would you call it? Like more better looking
Assholes.
There's some, but I know a lot of like amazing, beautiful girls that are like awesome, down to earth. They're not into like the superficial stuff. They're here to work. They're here to do their thing, and they're hoping to like get married to some nice dude or something. There's everything.
Or be a CEO. They don't need to get married to a dude.
Yeah.
So where do you meet them? Was the ending to this guy's question. The quality girls.
The quality ones. You just got to put yourself out there.
You just got to hang out with Nick Silver.
I honestly think Hobby Lobby and Michaels.
Ralph's.
Let me tell you what.
Wait, which location? The Hollywood location?
it's
Probably.
Probably like the Valley and stuff like that. Because you
Wow.
know what? Let me tell you what. Think about it. I've been there a bunch of times, and they're all really good looking. And either they have a lot of time in their hands, they don't want to go to the clubs, and they're doing arts and crafts. They're focused. You know, they got a little money because it's expensive there.
Sure.
So they probably have a job.
Okay.
So you know,
like-
a job is important nowadays.
It is important, yeah. Especially in LA.
Yeah.
Well, it just proves that they're go-getters. You know, they're.
You know, yeah, and they're doing their thing. Like they're not. You know, yeah. I went to Michael's and there was a lot of pretty
Nice.
girls there.
They have good deals as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Second question. Is this person says they hate doing extra work, but they hear that you need to do. We kind of already discussed this. Is extra work necessary to come out here to be an actor?
You know, there's always that one person that's never done extra work that makes it. But I think any opportunity you get to be on a set, you know, to learn. I took it as a learning experience, kind of like a college. Like you see the cameras, like cut, like stand in, like. I think it was awesome. I love being on set. I even love being an extra. I don't like the pay, obviously, but when I was doing it, I loved it. I got to do a lot of things, like, and then sometimes you get featured, and you get to work with like some of your favorite actors sometimes on a movie. I think it's amazing. I think it's a really good learning experience. I recommend it. Obviously, there's a lot of big actors that were a background that made it. It just depends on your hustle and how good you are and your networking and all that stuff to make it big. And sometimes you even meet people doing background. They also just moved here and stuff.
Like
They
other
are
actors and stuff.
Other actors, or like I doing a Corona commercial. I met a director.
A what commercial?
A Corona,
Oh, cool.
the beer, and I did like a short film for him and stuff.
Oh,
like that.
nice. That's the dream, honestly.
Networking,
like
dude.
yeah, it was we were having fun saying like, and he's like, yo, like I'm working on this movie that's actually getting fun. It's like low budget, but it was good. He gave me like a lead role and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
But you never would have got that unless you were there.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
And not only that, but like honestly, if you do background and like you want to meet people, it's a great place because you're there and like when on
Can't go anywhere.
you can't go anywhere. You're there for a ton of hours, and then at lunch you can meet people, and also there's a lot of beautiful girls because obviously all these girls that come from the small towns that want to be an actress, they start doing that as well, and great dudes, everything. It's like
Whatever you're into.
yeah. And,
Cool.
but mostly you learn a lot on how movies are made and how much it takes, and it makes you realize, wow, this is crazy, and it also teaches you if that's really what you want to do.
Right.
Because some people cannot stand being there more than 5 hours on set. Oh my god, I always heard like, I want to get home. I'm just here to pay. So,
Right.
You know, you also have that. You have to stay away from those people. Try to like make friends with the people that are like gonna push you to do more or like have ambition or like can actually teach you something about acting. You know what I mean?
Right. I like it. Last question before we get to final thoughts and plugs on this podcast. Last question is, it's 3 sentences. What do people do for fun in LA? I'm moving there soon, but I hate hiking and I'm not a big fan of avocados. And any advice on what people do for fun in LA?
LA is my favorite city in the world. I love LA. You know, I'm in the center of Hollywood where if you want to go to a show, it's walking distance. If you want to go, I snowboard every weekend or almost every weekend. It's only an hour and a half away. If you want to go to the ocean, it's right there. You want to ride bikes. You wanna like camp. You can camp. There's festivals all the time. There's a music something every day, like free. There's comedy shows. There's LA is not boring. LA,
True.
what to do for fun is within you. If you're bored, it's because you're boring. Like go out. It's because go out and do something. Like LA is amazing to me. Like I even love being in traffic sometimes. You know, like you see all these kind of crazy things. You're bored, just go out there. I've been here 9 years and I still have a lot of exploring to do.
Just hit Hollywood Boulevard and see it all.
Hit
come
Hollywood
down.
Boulevard, go to Malibu, go to Orange County, go to Big Bear, go to everything's close by.
Right.
You know,
Koreatown.
go. Venice is always entertaining. You know, like
Just hit the beach, man.
hit the
It's
beach.
Some weird characters.
A lot of characters.
yeah, and there's street performers. You go to Santiago, you go shopping, go to the warehouse, go where things are being made. Go watch a movie set. Go watch a free TV show. Like you go to Jimmy Kimmel. You go
Conan
to
O'Brien.
You could go anything. Like it's just a matter of you, like taking the initiative to like, tomorrow I'm gonna do this. You know?
I
like
totally
it.
agree.
I like it.
Any final thoughts, guys?
None for me. You guys?
I thought this went great. Rick, thank you for coming. It was a pleasure having you.
Appreciate
Yeah.
it, man.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you again to Rick Silver, Mr. Jack of all trades.
Can you give those plugs again or
yeah.
whatever you want to plug?
What plug?
Anything you want
Your
to plug?
kids or anything you're doing?
Oh, I thought you were talking about the butt plug story.
You still have it with you. Oh.
No.
Souvenir.
Well, I'm Rick Silver. Obviously,
Where can we find you on social media?
social media at Rick Silver. My Venmo is also Rick Silver. So something.
Donations.
Donation.
Tell us how that works.
Yeah. My kid, I have 2 beautiful kids that I want to help out. They want to be entertainers as well. And my daughter is Mishka Silva, and like she even has more followers than most of us, and she's blowing up. And my son, it's Kyle Silva, and that's all they have: their Instagram and their TikTok. But for me, it's just you can find me on Facebook. You can Venmo and what was the other one? Instagram.
And if there's an actor out there that wants to be in the future film that you direct, would he hit you up on Venmo?
Venmo him some money.
Well,
Fund the film.
They can help. Maybe helping me finance the
you go.
film. You know.
Via Venmo.
There's a limit on Venmo.
No, I'm just kidding. All Venmo. No, I'm not.
Like it.
All right, cool.
Well, thanks again to Rick. And once again, this is Surviving Hollywood. I almost forgot the name. Thank you so much for having us, dude, for being here with us, man. And we will see you guys next time.
You are listening to Surviving Hollywood.
All right, that outro music, and we're done.